You didn't click on this by accident. Something in you is tired, not just tired of hearing unkind words, but tired of the weight they leave behind. Tired of lying awake replaying that one sentence, that smirk, that silence, that look. Tired of the way your chest tightens when you feel disrespected. Tired of pretending it doesn't bother you when deep down it always does. You clicked on this video not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to want change. You're not looking to throw insults back. You're looking to rise above them without losing your humanity. There's a quiet kind of power the Stoics understood. It doesn't shout back. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't need to prove anything. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be." That's not bravado, it's clarity. Clarity that your peace isn't found in controlling what others say, but in controlling what you make of it. In this video, we're going to explore the Stoic way of dealing with criticism and disrespect, not just as an idea, but as a practice. You'll learn 8 timeless strategies drawn from ancient wisdom, but crafted for your modern life. And if you're the kind of person who wants to build that inner stillness, who wants to stop overreacting and start responding with calm strength, then you're in the right place. Let's walk this path together. Take a breath. And if this speaks to you, subscribe. You don't need the noise. You need clarity. Number 1, choose what you carry. Words are just sounds until you give them weight. A stranger on the street might mumble something cruel. You hear it, it lands, but only you decide what happens next. That moment right there is the split second where your freedom lives. The Stoics taught that it's not what others say that harms us. It's what we choose to carry forward. Marcus Aurelius said it best: if someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. For I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own self-deception and ignorance. What does this mean for you? It means if the criticism is untrue, let it fall. If it's true, grow from it. Anything in between is just noise, and noise doesn't deserve a seat in your mind. But this is easier said than done, because we've been trained by school, by parents, by the culture around us to internalize everything. We mistake attention for meaning. We confuse volume for truth. Let's be honest, when someone disrespects you, your first reaction is likely emotional. Your heart beats faster. You feel heat in your face. You want to defend, correct, prove. That's your biology. But it's not your destiny. You're not a sponge. You are a filter. You do not absorb every drop you choose, what flows through. Think of yourself as a traveler. You're carrying a heavy pack already, your goals, your peace, your energy. Someone tosses you a rock, a rude comment, a half-truth, a subtle dig. Do you add it to your pack? Do you carry it all day, week, year? Or do you pause, inspect it, and let it fall to the ground where it belongs? You might say, but it still hurts. And yes, it can sting, but that sting doesn't have to become suffering. Suffering only grows when we revisit the insult, reimagine it, relive it. Here's a simple practice. Next time someone criticizes you, don't react. Just ask, is this true? If yes, be grateful. They've revealed a blind spot. If no, release it. Let it drop like dead weight. If you're unsure, store it with distance. Reflect later when the emotions cool. The real danger isn't the insult, it's your belief in it. And if you can learn to treat words as offerings, some useful, some not, then you gain the rare power to remain untouched in a world obsessed with opinions. Like a traveler removing stones from his pack, you make the journey lighter, not because the road is easier, but because you refuse to carry what wasn't yours. So I'll ask you this: what weight are you carrying right now that you were never meant to hold? Number 2, the insult is never about you. Not every word thrown your way is about you. In fact, most of them aren't. You think they attacked me, but did they? Or did they reveal their own frustration, their jealousy, their pain? Epictetus taught, When someone assails you with abuse, hate not him. Be patient, for his words are just an echo of his judgments. The insult, more often than not, is a mirror, not of your character, but of theirs. It reflects their upbringing, their fears, their wounds. It's projection, not perception. A reflection, not a revelation. And when you begin to truly understand that, you stop playing defense. You stop letting strangers shape your identity. You stop giving away your peace in exchange for approval. But we forget. Because when someone disrespects you, especially someone close, it feels personal. You feel misunderstood, misjudged, misrepresented, and your first instinct is to fight it. But let's pause. Let's zoom out. What if their words say more about their inner chaos than your worth? Think about a cracked mirror. It doesn't show your true reflection. It distorts, it fragments, it lies. Would you judge yourself based on what a broken mirror shows? Of course not, and yet you do. Every time you internalize a harsh word from someone who never knew your full story. Every time you replay that comment in your head, wondering what you did wrong. You're handing the pen of your self-worth to someone who hasn't earned it. Here's the truth: people speak from their level of consciousness, from their experiences, from their pain. So when a friend snaps at you or a stranger online leaves a cruel comment, try asking, what might this say about them and not about me? This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. It's the ability to hold space between stimulus and response. To say that comment landed near me, but not inside me. One of the most powerful practices in Stoicism is learning to separate yourself from the opinions of others, not by becoming numb, but by becoming clear. Clarity gives you compassion. You begin to see people not as enemies, but as messengers of their own suffering. And that shift, that widening of perspective, frees you. Here's a metaphor. A thunderstorm rolls across the sky. It roars, it flashes, it drenches everything below, but it doesn't hate the trees. It doesn't mean anything by the rain. It just is. People are storms, and sometimes they pass through your life with noise and drama. But that doesn't mean you have to stand in the open. You can step back, seek shelter, or simply let the rain fall without reacting. This is not weakness, it's not avoidance, it's mastery. Because when you realize that most criticism is rooted in them, not you, you stop absorbing poison out of politeness. You begin to protect your mental space like sacred ground. You listen with discernment, not defensiveness. You learn to ask not, why did they say that, but why does it matter to me? And when you live that way, criticism becomes information. Disrespect becomes noise. You remain unmoved. So let me ask you, whose broken mirror are you still staring into, hoping it will show you something whole? Number 3, rehearse disrespect before it arrives. You don't become calm by accident. You don't face insults with grace just because you want to. You have to train for it. Seneca called this practice premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. He believed that if you rehearse hardship before it comes, it loses its power. He wrote, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." It's a strange idea at first, imagining being disrespected, insulted, betrayed. Why would you want to do that? Because it prepares your mind. It turns chaos into choreography. When you expect that people will speak poorly of you, when you accept that disrespect will appear, you don't collapse when it does. It's like this: a sailor doesn't wait until the storm hits to learn how to tie the knots. He practices before the waves rise. So when the sky darkens, he doesn't panic, he performs. You too must become that kind of sailor. Not someone who hopes for calm waters, but someone who's ready to navigate storms with steady hands. So how do you train for insults? It starts with reflection. Each morning before the noise of the world rushes in, sit for 2 minutes and ask yourself, what kinds of disrespect or criticism might I encounter today? How will I respond, not react, if they come? You might imagine someone mocking your work, interrupting you, dismissing your ideas, rolling their eyes, ignoring your boundaries. Now pause and visualize your calm reaction, your slow breath, your posture, your choice of words, or your choice of silence. See yourself not shaken. See yourself choosing stillness over defense, choosing clarity over retaliation. That mental rehearsal lays down a path for your real-world behavior to follow. You're not fantasizing about confrontation. You're building resistance to it, like a callus formed through repetition, not pain. Over time, this becomes instinct. You no longer crumble at the first sign of disrespect because your nervous system has already met this moment in the safe space of your mind. And then when it comes, when the driver cuts you off, when the coworker talks over you, when someone online leaves a biting comment, you don't flinch. You nod, "I rehearsed this." And you respond from the part of you that's trained, not triggered. Let me be clear. This isn't about expecting the worst in people. It's about not being surprised when humans act like humans. Flawed, emotional, rushed, sometimes cruel. If you rely on the world to be kind so you can stay calm, you'll always be unstable. But if you build your calm internally, if you rehearse grace in the quiet moments, then your peace becomes unshakable. Like a sculptor who visualizes the final form before he picks up the chisel. You prepare your mind before the moment shapes you. So ask yourself, when the next moment of disrespect comes, will you meet it like a surprise or like a rehearsal? Number 4, shrink the ego, expand the perspective. Criticism only cuts when it hits something inflated, and most of us are carrying around an ego swollen with expectations. You expect to be understood. You expect to be respected. You expect others to see your intentions, your effort, your worth. And when they don't, when they criticize, dismiss, or disrespect you, it hurts. But is it the criticism, or is it the ego that hurts? Socrates once said, "I know that I know nothing." He wasn't being modest. He was being free. That kind of humility is not weakness, it's armor. Because when you let go of the need to be right, to be praised, to be seen, you become untouchable. Let's be honest. Most of the time, we don't want feedback. We want validation. We don't want truth. We want comfort. But the Stoic path is different. It asks, do you want to feel good or do you want to be good? When someone criticizes you, pause. Before you defend, before you explain, before you correct them, ask yourself, is there something here I can learn? Even if I don't agree, can I grow from this moment? Not all criticism is fair, but all of it can teach you something, even if that something is how to stay calm when misunderstood. Here's the metaphor. Imagine a small cup of water. Now add 1 drop of ink. The water turns cloudy instantly. The ink dominates it. But pour that same drop into a lake and it vanishes. The lake is too vast to be disturbed. Your ego is the cup. Your perspective is the lake. The more you shrink your ego, the more space you create for peace. When you're less concerned with looking perfect, you become more open to correction. When you stop needing everyone's approval, you stop fearing their disapproval. Let's take it further. Imagine someone says, "You're wrong." The ego hears, "You're worthless." But the Stoic hears, "Here's a chance to test what I believe." That's a shift in identity. Instead of being someone who needs to be right, you become someone who seeks what's true. And truth doesn't need ego to survive. It needs honesty and courage. Here's a practice. The next time someone criticizes, you don't respond at all. Just listen fully. Then say, "I'll think about that." That's not weakness, that's strength in disguise. It disarms the situation. It gives you time to process. And most importantly, It shows that your self-worth is not on trial in every interaction. You are a student of life, not the star of every scene. And when you adopt that mindset, you can face criticism with curiosity, not defensiveness. You'll start to see criticism as a mirror, not to judge your reflection, but to adjust your posture. Not every reflection is flattering, but every reflection can be useful. So I'll leave you with this. What if every insult is just a small drop of ink, and your soul is vast enough to remain clear, steady, and unmoved? Number 5, silence is power. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't owe anyone a reaction. In fact, sometimes silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, reminded us better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. Think about that. It's better to fall flat on your face than to say something foolish in haste, because words once spoken can't be unsaid. They echo, they stick, they shape perceptions, and sometimes they shape you. In moments of disrespect, your impulse might be to lash out, to defend your name, to set the record straight, to prove that you're not someone to mess with. But here's the truth. If someone truly disrespected you, do you think they'll hear your correction with an open heart? Do you think they'll suddenly realize your worth because you explained it to them? No. Disrespect rarely comes from misunderstanding. It comes from misalignment. A person who values power or control or status will never see you clearly if you don't share their lens. So instead of reacting, you remain still, like a mountain. Still, even as the wind screams against it. Still, even as the storm crashes through. The mountain doesn't argue with the wind. It endures it. That's the kind of stillness the Stoics cultivated. Not apathy, not indifference, but intentional quiet. There's power in not giving your energy away. There's strength in choosing your battles not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Here's a daily practice. When someone says something rude or condescending, pause. Don't rush to speak. Don't rush to fix. Just ask yourself, is this worth my breath? If the answer is no, let your silence be your answer. This doesn't mean you never speak up. It means you choose when and how. Silence isn't suppression, it's strategy. Seneca once wrote, "A quarrel is quickly settled. When deserted by one party, there is no battle unless there be two. If they try to bait you and you don't bite, the conflict dies in their hands." Think about a lion. It doesn't turn to bark at every dog that barks at it. It knows its power. It knows that energy wasted on barking dogs is energy not spent on the hunt, on the path, on the mission. You don't need to lower yourself to meet someone's disrespect. You can rise above it without saying a word. In a world that thrives on noise, where every opinion is broadcast, every disagreement becomes content. Your silence becomes rare, valuable, powerful. People will notice. They may even mistake it for weakness. Let them, because your calm, your restraint, your refusal to be dragged into someone else's storm, that is strength, that is self-command. And that is what Stoicism offers, not as a theory, but as a practice. So the next time someone disrespects you, pause, breathe, and ask, is my dignity worth more than this argument? Because often it is. And sometimes the most powerful sentence you will ever say is the one you choose not to speak. Number 6, detach from the crowd's approval. There's a subtle trap that catches almost everyone, even those on the Stoic path. It's the need to be seen, to be liked, to be approved of. At first glance, it doesn't seem dangerous. What's wrong with wanting respect or appreciation? But slowly, quietly, it becomes dependence. You begin to shape your words around what others might clap for. You hesitate before speaking, afraid of rejection. And when criticism or disrespect arrives, it hits harder than it should. Because it's not just their disapproval you fear, it's the collapse of your identity. but Stoicism offers another path. Musonius Rufus, one of the great Roman Stoics, taught to be honored is not always good, and to be dishonored is not always bad. What matters is the life we live, not the noise surrounding it. The world will never stop offering opinions. Some will praise you for the same thing others will condemn you for. You'll be a genius to one person, a fool to another, a hero in one room, invisible in the next. So, whose voice do you listen to? If it's everyone's, then you're no one. You become fragmented, pulled in 1,000 directions. Your identity dissolves into performance. But when you detach, truly detach from the crowd's approval, you find something quieter, truer, your own internal compass. It doesn't mean you become cold or uncaring. It means you learn to respect yourself without needing a chorus of validation behind you. Here's a metaphor. Imagine a tree in the forest. Its roots run deep. The wind howls. Birds rest on its branches. People walk by never noticing it. But the tree does not bend to be seen. It doesn't bloom louder because someone is watching. It simply grows. That's how you must live. Rooted in your values, growing in silence, flourishing whether praised or ignored. Because the alternative is dangerous. To tie your self-worth to applause is to hand your peace to strangers. And when the applause stops, so do you. Here's a practice. After any public moment, whether you spoke up, posted something, shared an idea, ask yourself, am I proud of this? Even if no one claps. Did I act from my values or from my desire to be liked? This daily check-in creates separation between who you are and how others respond. It's a slow, steady cutting of the invisible strings that once made you dance. The Stoics didn't reject community, but they built an inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that couldn't be breached by cheers or jeers. When you realize that your peace is not on the auction block, that your dignity doesn't rise or fall with likes, shares, or applause, you start living from a different place. You speak when something must be said. You act because it aligns, not because it pleases. And when disrespect shows up, you meet it with stillness, not because you're unaffected, but because you're anchored. The world will continue to shout, some of it kind, some of it cruel, but your identity, your worth, that stays in your hands. So I'll ask you, who are you when no one's watching? And isn't that the only version of you that truly matters? Number 7, turn criticism into a mirror. Criticism isn't the enemy. The unexamined self is. Most people run from harsh words. They build walls. They explain, deflect, defend. But the Stoic turns toward it not to suffer, but to learn. Aristotle once said, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it." Not every insult is true. Not every critique is helpful. But every piece of feedback is an opportunity to practice composure, to refine your character, to sharpen your perception. It's like this: when someone throws criticism at you, it's like they're holding up a mirror. Maybe it's clean, maybe it's cracked. But if you look into it with honesty, you might see something real. The ego hates this. It wants to swat the mirror away. It says, they don't know me. They're wrong. They're just jealous. But pause, breathe. Ask what part of this is worth examining. Is there even 2% truth here that I can use to grow? That question alone transforms the moment. You shift from victim to student, from fragile to flexible. Here's the metaphor. Gold is tested not by praise, but by fire, and so are you. Praise might feel good, but it rarely teaches you criticism. That's the forge. It's the place where your identity is challenged and refined. This doesn't mean you accept every insult, but you learn to separate the tone from the message. Someone might speak in anger but still reveal something useful. Even your enemies can be teachers, especially your enemies, because they aren't afraid to point at your flaws. And while they may exaggerate or distort, there's often a seed of truth buried beneath the noise. The Stoic approach isn't to agree or disagree instantly, it's to observe. So here's a practice. Every time someone criticizes you, write it down, not to obsess over it, but to analyze it later with calm eyes. Ask yourself, is this a pattern I've heard before? Do I resist this feedback because it's untrue or because it stings? What action, if any, would a wiser version of me take in response? You'll begin to notice something strange. Some of the things that used to hurt start to help because you're using them as tools, not weapons against yourself, but chisels to shape your integrity. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." It's not always the words themselves that harm you. It's the story you tell about what those words mean. But when you rewrite the story, when you decide that feedback is fuel, not fire, you stop fearing what others say. You welcome it, sort it, use what's useful, and let the rest drift away. Because criticism at its core is just information, sometimes clear, sometimes cluttered, but always offering you a choice: react or reflect, defend or develop, fight the mirror or face what you see. So I'll leave you with this. What if your harshest critic is unknowingly offering you the exact wisdom you need to become who you were meant to be? Number 8. Practice self-command daily. The moments of disrespect, the sideways comment, the public embarrassment, the unfair judgment. They feel like tests, sudden, jarring, out of nowhere. But here's the truth. The Stoics knew. Those moments don't build your strength. They reveal the strength you've already built. Seneca wrote, "No man becomes great without training, and training is nothing if not continuous struggle." So if you want to respond to disrespect with grace, if you want to meet criticism with calm, you must train for it every single day. Just like an athlete doesn't show up on game day hoping for instinct to kick in, you can't expect composure to magically appear in the heat of the moment. It must be cultivated. Here's the truth. You're either being trained by your emotions or you're training them. And if you don't practice self-command in the quiet moments, you'll fall apart when the loud ones arrive. So what does Stoic training look like? It starts with awareness. Before you can control anything, you have to see it. Begin each morning with a short reflection. Ask yourself, what kind of challenges might I face today? Where am I most likely to be triggered? And don't just guess. Look back. What kinds of people tend to provoke you? What situations throw you off balance? When you identify your emotional patterns, you loosen their grip. Next comes preparation. Think of this like training your reflexes. You can do this with a journaling practice called premeditation. Write down imagined moments of criticism, someone questioning your intelligence, someone laughing at your dreams, someone dismissing your work in front of others. Now visualize your response. Not your fantasy response, not the one where you destroy them with the perfect comeback, but the Stoic response. Your eyes steady, your voice calm or completely silent, your chest relaxed, no heat in the face, no tension in the fists, just you, in full command of yourself. This is where you rewire your reactions, and over time those imagined scenarios begin to map onto real life. You'll find yourself catching the spike of anger before it takes over. You'll begin responding instead of reacting. Another powerful tool, the evening review. At the end of the day, ask, where did I remain composed? Where did I lose my balance? What can I learn before tomorrow arrives? Marcus Aurelius did this. He wasn't writing for the world, he was writing for himself, to see his own soul more clearly. Self-command is a cycle. Awareness, preparation, reflection, repeat daily. And don't underestimate the role of your body in this practice. Your breath is a steering wheel. In a heated moment, slow your inhale. Extend your exhale. Let your nervous system calm your mind before your mind can make a mess of it. Also, movement matters, even a short walk after a hard conversation, a few stretches after a tense meeting, a glass of water and some fresh air after reading a rude message. These small physical resets restore clarity faster than any inner monologue ever could. Self-command isn't robotic. It's not the suppression of emotion. It's the ability to observe the emotion, name it, and choose what comes next. This is the highest freedom Stoicism offers, because you can't control the world. You can't stop people from disrespecting you. You can't make everyone be kind, fair, or honest. But you can train for it. You can rehearse dignity. You can build habits of poise, like a martial artist who trains alone for years, so that when the fight comes, he doesn't flinch. And even if the blow lands, he doesn't lose control. He stays rooted. That's what you're doing with this practice. You're preparing for life, not a perfect life, a real one where people will talk, where misunderstandings will arise, where your ego will be tempted to scream, but you'll smile, not because it doesn't hurt, but because you're trained. So ask yourself, are you letting your emotions train you? Or are you finally ready to train them? You began this journey because something inside you was tired of flinching, tired of being pulled by every harsh word, tired of the way criticism and disrespect could still shake you days, sometimes years after the moment passed. And now, after walking through the teachings of the Stoics, you see something clearly. The insult is not what hurts you. Your attachment to it does. Criticism, disrespect, rejection. These things will never vanish from your life. But your reaction to them can. Or rather, your need to react can. That's the shift. That's the freedom. Not becoming numb, but becoming discerning. Not hardened, but anchored. The Stoics didn't teach avoidance. They taught mastery. A mastery of the only realm you ever truly control. Your mind, your perspective, your inner response. If you forget these lessons, if you go back to needing praise, fearing disapproval, chasing reputation, then you'll hand your peace to everyone you meet, and they won't even know they're holding it. But if you remember, if you practice daily what you've learned, to carry only what belongs to you, to listen without absorbing, to see ego as the true vulnerability, to choose silence over impulsive speech, to train yourself, reflect often, and root your identity in something deeper than public opinion, then you become dangerous in the calmest, most grounded way. Because nothing rattles a person more than someone who remains unshaken, not because they're trying to win, but because they don't need to. So if this video stirred something in you, if you felt even a flicker of that quiet inner strength returning, stay on this path. No loud promises, no dramatic transformation, just a gentle practice every day, every moment, choosing to respond, not react. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, you're always welcome here. Feel free to subscribe, or not. Either way, your dignity is yours, and it never needed defending.